Okay, finally the Trolls Band Together trailer is out, and I could finally talk about Viva properly. Let's start off from a merchandising perspective, and then we'll move on to the media itself. I'll say this. I'm really honestly all for if the merchandising of Trolls is easier for merchandising companies going forward. In terms of merchandising of the brand and Poppy's go-to main girl character that isn't Poppy, she's typically beside DJ Suki, but that ended very quickly once the World Tour era started. Then it was Barb. Once World Tour was done, Barb got booted out. Trollstopia, Val, and Holly. Once that was done, they were booted out. Now we're I don't mean booted out in the mean way, but you get what I mean. And then now we have Band Together, and it's Viva. And here's the thing. Viva is like what DJ Suki used to be. Poppy's go-to character that wasn't Branch. And like right now, like with the two video games, like DreamWorks is hyping that girl up. DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing, she's right next to Poppy and Shrek. On the first ever DreamWorks Trolls console game, boom, she's right there in the cover. She's also tagging along during the adventure too as a playable character. So, yeah, Viva's a big deal, and I've noticed with the merchandise, she's been a huge help for Poppy in terms of merchandising. And I would say it going forward, I'm not going to complain about Poppy and Viva being the go-to characters being thrown on merchandise. Now, I would like to see other characters, and from what I've seen from the puzzles and other things, they know that. So we're good. We're good. We're good on that angle, but they are going to have to add more characters that isn't just Poppy and Viva. But again, to make merchandising easier for non-toy companies, I'm fine with this. Plus, at the same time, when nothing's going on with the brand, it's something they could always fall back on. Same with Brozone. So really, if it's a way to keep Trolls merchandising flowing and, you know, the brand doesn't have to go, oh man, we don't know what to do, these two are the good old reliables they can fall back on. Okay, now that we got the merchandising one out of the way, what about the media itself? Now, I will say this, there is a camp that's just like, but we're in the Branch era of Trolls. We're focusing on Branch. He has his own version of the snack pack that's Brozone. He has something that's actually his and not kind of fallen back of what Poppy has, and then it just kind of relegates to what Branch as well as a character. And in terms of Branch, he really doesn't have that much that's like dedicated to really him. All he really has is like Gary and now Brozone, and that's it. Now, I will say this, he also has Prince D and Cooper as shown in Holiday and Harmony, so he has a few other things, but not a lot, I would say. And the reason why Poppy has Viva, going back to merchandise real quick, is, well, Poppy would have ended up like Branch and World Tour. That's not a bad thing, but from a merchandising perspective, all Poppy would really have is her 3 outfits, and that's it. She needed a little bit more, so I can't blame anyone involved for wanting that. But at the same time, Poppy needed Viva. Really, Poppy, I can't really say I know what they would be able to do with the character going forward. Really, outside of the staples they've been doing in the TV show, oh, Poppy has queenly duties, she has to do X, Y, and Z for this week's episode. But again, that will grow stale. And at the same time, Trollstopia ran into a big, gigantic issue. When a character had a problem, they always went to her. And like for as many episodes that Trollstopia has, I don't want that to become a common occurrence. And the thing is, they could keep that idea, but I don't mind it being a Poppy and Viva interpersonal relationship thing. I feel like that works a lot better than the snack pack and the Trollstopia characters constantly going to Poppy when they have a problem. So I feel like that honestly resolves a problem for Poppy. At the same time, from what the trailers have shown off and TV spots of one line of Viva being completely energetic and happy to meet other people, and Poppy turns to Branch and John and Tiny going, "Is this how people react when they first meet me?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, that this is how you are." I feel like Poppy as a character she's still her like big energetic character, but I feel like it's definitely been toned down a bit simply because the character's growing. She's been growing ever since after the first film. So them doing that and kind of letting Poppy veer off to a different path than what she originally was as where she first started off, I don't think this is a bad thing. Poppy maturing a bit, but having a character that was kind of like Poppy at the beginning of the franchise and being a lot more wilder and crazy. I like that detail with her hair being wild and crazy. This works. This idea works. But not only that, but outside of Band Together, it allows Poppy and Viva to have a relationship that can span a long time. There can be a lot of plots dedicated to it. Not only that, but Viva allows to see a new perspective into this franchise. Not to mention, if you're a newcomer to the franchise, Viva's a good surrogate if you join this fandom late. And Viva can introduce old concepts in a new light. So really, Viva was really needed for this franchise to continue. And not only that, but for Poppy to not become stale.